Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a really exciting video to share with you guys today. Before I launch into today's special video, which it is a reading, but it's definitely something much more different than I've ever done before. Before I launch into that though, I just want to invite you guys to subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, and when you do, please make sure to hit that notification bell, because when you do, you're notified every time I go live, every time I upload a new reading, a new video. You'll be the first one to know. So I definitely invite you to do that, as well as give this video a thumbs up and drop me a comment down below. You know, I want to meet you guys, I want to interact with you guys and engage with you guys. So let's make this fun and be a little community here, which is, you know, kind of what YouTube is supposed to be, a community, a very social kind of community. So anyways, yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know of that. And I am usually live every Monday and Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I know lately it's kind of been touch and go with me on that. I have not honestly been as consistent with that as I should be. So I've kind of been reevaluating my schedule and like how I'm doing things and when I'm doing things, especially considering I've been adding in new things that I did not have going on before. So I may be reevaluating that a little bit. I'm still going to be going live. I'll still be going live at least once a week for sure, for certain. And it'll probably be the same time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, because I know that's a good time for me. It's usually a good time for other people because they're done with work by then and that kind of thing. But I might be changing the day. I might go sometime like in the middle of the week, like a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. I'm not 100% sure. But like I said, if and when that does definitely change, I will let you guys know for sure. But for the time being, it is still Mondays and Fridays in general, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'm also open and available for private readings too. So even if, you know, you wind up missing out on a live, or maybe you would rather keep it confidential and not, you know, talk about what's going on in your situation during a live, that's exactly what private readings are for. So you're more than welcome to contact me for that as well. So information on everything that you need to know, whether it's ways to contact me or lives or private readings or whatever else, it's all in the description box down below. Anyway, so today, like I said, is a super, super exciting video. I'm so excited to share this with you guys because it has been a long time coming. So I finally created my very first Oracle deck. I'm so freaking excited about this, you guys. So yeah, it's my very first Oracle deck, designed and created and channeled and everything by me. And yeah, so this video is basically going to be a walkthrough of the deck. I'm going to go through all the cards and kind of just like introduce it to you and explain it to you, and then by the end of it, maybe do a quick little reading, kind of, you know, showing you guys how it works in action and everything. And of course, I'm going to be incorporating these now into readings on a regular basis, you know, as long as, you know, the cards, the theme of the deck and everything makes sense going into whatever question it is that's being addressed. So that's basically what's going on. And this deck is available for sale, so you guys can have one of these puppies yourself. It's up on Etsy, so the information for that is going to be down in the description box as well. If you guys want to pick up your very own deck and you want to use these for yourself and your own readings personally at home for yourself, or if you want to use them to do a reading on somebody else, you're more than welcome to. So check it out at my Etsy shop, and yeah, I hope you guys love it and enjoy it as much as I do. I hope to bring more of these to you guys. I'm really hoping to crank out at least 2 more decks before the end of the year, before 2022 hits. So that's kind of my hope, my ideals, my end goal before the end of the year. But this one is definitely the maiden voyage one. This one is the one that I was really thinking of first and foremost coming out of the gate. So it's really fun, exciting, and it's here. So let me officially introduce to you guys this deck, rather than just saying, oh, I'm so excited. So the name of the deck is Written in the Stars. And as you can see on the cover of it, it's like LA basically. You know, you got palm trees there, you got a street, you know, it's like a typical Southern California street is what it comes down to. And it is actually LA. So basically the theme of this deck, it is kind of like a pop culture, Hollywood, entertainment, Los Angeles type of theme for the messages. And the messages are general messages. It's a mixture of love, it's a mixture of career, just a whole mixture of a whole bunch of different things. But the themes specifically to the messages, like I said, are like pop culture, LA, Hollywood, that kind of thing. Definitely inspired out of the time that I spent living in LA for the past 15 years. So that's kind of where it all extends from. It is helpful if you understand and you're knowledgeable of like the pop culture references and that kind of thing, but certainly not required. The most important thing when you're going through these messages is to tap into it intuitively for yourself or for the person that you're reading for. That's the most important thing. So even if it means something different to me as I'm presenting it to you, if the energy comes across differently to you when you're doing a reading for yourself or for somebody else, then take it how it's coming across for you in that moment. You know, interpretations vary, obviously. And the most important thing, doesn't matter whether it's my deck or anybody else's deck, is to really listen to your intuition and what your intuition is trying to tell you about that particular card. And not only that, but you know, how that correlates to the other cards that are around it too, because that makes an impact as well. Anyway, let me begin to walk this through for you guys. I'm not going to shuffle it or anything because I'm just going to, you know, start putting the cards down and everything. But the first card we have is your entourage is ready for a trip. Travel ahead. So this card basically implies, you know, traveling, that you might be traveling sometime soon, that, you know, there might be like a vacation ahead or maybe a long weekend ahead, that kind of thing. You know, once again, always open to interpretation. It could be, you know, traveling the distance with something else, but it's definitely implying travel overall. Careful with money, might not be time for a shopping spree on Rodeo yet. So this is definitely a card of caution, basically, when it comes down to money, to finances. So just be careful with things. Just make sure that you're budgeting right, that you're not overspending, that you're not overindulging, that kind of thing. If he could, he'd have sister wives. So this is based off of the TV show Sister Wives, if you guys are familiar with that one on TLC. And, you know, basically in that culture, in the culture of like, there's like a portion of the Mormon church, basically where in their belief system, the man, he has several wives, and on that show, he has like 4 wives. He's legally married to only one, but he's spiritually married to the other 3. And this is a lifestyle that they choose, that they, you know, voluntarily believe in. So that's basically what that's about. So this is kind of implying like, if this was in regards to like a love question, for example, and it's saying, oh, if he could, he'd have sister wives. It's kind of saying like, this is a dude who is not like a one-woman man. This is someone who would like to have his own harem, I guess you could say, kind of a thing. So that's kind of what that's implying. It's implying a guy who is not committed to just one person. You may be your own Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So this basically is saying that, you know, you yourself or whoever it is you pull the card for, it's basically saying that that you have your own magic within and your own spiritual gifts and your own talents, and you know, those things are meant to come out, those things are meant to shine, kind of a thing. So, you know, it's kind of like, you know, reading cards here or whatever. You could consider that kind of like a witchy thing or whatever, but truthfully, everybody has this ability. Anybody can do this, literally anyone. It's a spiritual gift, it's a spiritual muscle. And just like everybody has stomach muscles, you know, you can either choose to exercise them or not to exercise them. This is no different. So it's basically saying that you have this muscle on the inside of you and that you can flex it and you can definitely show it off. As if they're clueless, based off of, you know, Clueless, that's what Cher says, as if. So basically this card is pretty much letting you know that whoever it is it's in reference to in regards to this card is they're unaware. Like they're clueless, they're ignorant, they just don't know. They don't know any better. They just have no idea. They have no idea what they're doing, kind of a thing. It's time to meet the parents. So, you know, just like the movie Meet the Parents, this could be implying that it is time to meet your person's parents, or it's time for them to meet your parents, or it's just time to like meet the family, basically, like meet other people who are important to you when it comes to you and your connection. Someone has cruel intentions. So obviously, if any of you guys have seen the movie Cruel Intentions, it is very dramatic, obviously. And the whole situation that goes down there between, like, you know, Sarah Michelle Gellar's character and Ryan Felipe and all that kind of stuff, it's very toxic. Like, it's a very toxic situation. So this is kind of implying, like, toxic relationships, someone who doesn't have, like, good intentions towards you, someone who does not have your best interests at heart, someone who wants to hurt you, someone who wants to sabotage you. Time to make peace with your monster-in-law. So, you know, if you guys have seen Monster-in-Law, obviously, Jennifer Lopez's character has a big issue with her monster-in-law, pretty much, or her future mother-in-law. So this is kind of saying that it's, you know, it's time to make peace. It could literally be the monster-in-law, but I feel like it's more so about making peace with family members as a whole, whether they're in-laws or they're by blood or whatever the case may be. But it's about, you know, it's time to basically kiss and make up, you know, stop holding grudges. Their love is as deep as the heart of the ocean in Titanic. And who has not seen Titanic? Who has not seen one of the most epic love stories that Hollywood has ever cranked out? So, you know, obviously the ocean is very deep. You know, there are a lot of parts in the ocean that humanity has not even discovered yet. It's completely uncharted. And this is saying that whoever it is that you're asking about, like, their love is truly that deep. Like, that is some serious depth. 1000%. You may have worn 27 dresses, but expect your 28th to be great. So just like in the movie 27 Dresses, you know, the main character, she has been the bridesmaid 27 times. And at the end of the movie, her 28th dress is literally her wedding dress. So maybe you're in a similar position where you've always been the single friend, or you've always been the bridesmaid, or whatever the case may be. And maybe, you know, you've been waiting a long time, and it's kind of implying the whole thing of like, hey, your time to shine is coming. Try and leave enough room to make sure I fit all the cards. LC from the Hills has a warning for you. He's a sucky person. So if you guys have ever watched The Hills, like the OG Hills, not The Hills New Beginnings that's on right now, but the original one when Lauren Conrad was on it still, you know, her and Spidey, Heidi and Spencer obviously had this huge beef. And, you know, Lauren didn't like Spencer. She just didn't like him. And she had a bad feeling about him, and she was trying to warn Heidi about that. So this is kind of like, you know, if Lauren were here right now, she's trying to warn you that maybe whoever it is that you're involved with, maybe this person has some cruel intentions. Like, it would be funny if these two cards came together, because that could basically be the warning in a sense. But yeah, she's warning you. You may want to be careful with that one. Don't be in such a rush. No need to be 13 going on 30. So yeah, in the movie 13 going on 30, Jennifer Garner's character is like 13 at the start of the movie, and you know, she's having like those teenage troubles and everything, just, you know, typical middle school, junior high kind of problems. And she wishes that she was grown up. You know, she wishes that she could just speed up time and be an adult. And you know, she's thinking that if she does that, you know, her life is going to just be better and come together and everything. And she winds up finding out what that's like, and that it's actually not what it was all cracked up to be. So she kind of learns a lesson to enjoy where she's at right now on the way to where she's going. So this is definitely a card that is in regards to patience. A need for patience, a need for being comfortable in the present moment, being comfortable in the now. My people will call your people. Now, I think we all have heard that catchphrase before when it comes to Hollywood slang, I guess you could say. My people will call your people. So this is basically just a general card in regards to communication. That communication is going to be coming in with, you know, whoever it is that you may be referencing. I'm just going to put this one here. I just want to make sure I leave enough room. I'm going to have cards everywhere here. Okay, you'll wonder how to lose a guy in 10 days expecting, and how to lose a guy, I can't even read my own cards. How to lose a guy in 10 days, not expecting to want 10 more. So if you guys, once again, have seen the movie, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, basically, she's a writer on assignment where she is supposed to act like this clingy, needy, stage 5 clinger, chaser energy kind of girl, and she's supposed to basically get some poor unsuspecting dude to break up with her within those 10 days by behaving this way. And little does she know, the guy that she's going out with, he's doing this bet where he has to like stay in the relationship no matter how clingy she is. So in a sense, they can't necessarily lose each other. And of course, they wind up falling in love and all this other kind of stuff. So this card is kind of saying, like, maybe there's someone in your life. It could be a love interest. It could be a friend. It could be anything. There could be someone in your life who comes into your life where maybe they're not your usual type, or maybe they're not the usual kind of person that you would go for. And at first you're kind of like, ew, no, like, get this situation, get this person, get whatever it is away from me. Like, I want nothing to do with it. But then it's like they kind of grow on you, and you kind of realize, like, hey, this actually might be something worth looking into. So it's kind of like this unexpected, amazing gift that comes into your life kind of a thing. Friends like family on the Jersey Shore, which is funny because right before I did this reading, I was watching tonight's Jersey Shore family vacation. So if you guys have ever watched Jersey Shore, obviously the group that's on there, they're very much like family. They're not blood family, obviously, but they treat each other like brothers and sisters, basically. They're friends, but they are definitely, you know, sisters and brothers from another mother kind of thing. So this is basically implying that you may have a friend circle where, you know, these people may not be the people that you were raised with. These may not be the people that you're related to by blood, but in the end, blood doesn't always matter. You know, sometimes your family is the people that you choose, is what it comes down to. Slay Queen like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So, you know, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, she was obviously like this badass chick who, you know, kicked demon ass by night and went to school by day. And this is basically saying that, you know, life may be hard and it may be difficult, but you are kicking ass, that you are slaying, that you are doing much better than you know, that you are successful, that you are making waves, you're changing the world, you're saving the world, you are making a difference. Just like Buffy. First love, like DJ and Steve on Full House. Now, how cute were Steve and DJ on Full House? If you guys remember that sitcom from the late 80s and into the 90s and everything. And DJ and Steve were so cute. And it's so awesome that they, of course, you know, got back together and had their happily ever in Fuller House, the reboot from Netflix. So yeah, this is basically implying like a past love. It could be like literally a first love. It could be someone that you knew from when you were younger. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but it's kind of like implying a past love coming back into your life and just the whole situation being right in that. Oh, this is my thank you for your business card. So this one is obviously not a reading. This is just one that I include, so that way then you guys know where to find me. I'm just going to put that one to the side because that would not make any sense to have in a reading. They see you as an A-lister. So everybody knows the alphabetical order of celebrities, basically, when it comes down to Hollywood. And you know, if you want to be a celebrity, the end goal is to become an A-lister. You know, these are the people who, you know, they go to the Oscars and the Grammys and everything else, and they got their star on the Walk of Fame. They get all the gifts for doing nothing. You know, they're almost untouchable is what it comes down to. So very similar to like the star card in the tarot. This is a kind of a similar energy as that. It's like someone who sees you as a star, someone who may put you on a pedestal, someone who sees you as just like mind-blowingly amazing. Traffic jam on the 405, delays ahead. So the 405 is a very infamous freeway in LA, if you guys are not familiar with it, and it does get jammed with traffic quite a bit. So this card is basically implying, like, once again, it's kind of like this vibe about patience. It's saying that whatever it is you're asking about may not happen as soon as you would like it to. It's not saying that you won't reach your destination, obviously, but it is saying that there may be delays, that there may be setbacks, that there may be some challenges, there may be some roadblocks, there may be just like something that's going to hold it up a little bit longer. So it's kind of like a patience thing. So once again, it's kind of like if you got don't be in a rush to be 13 going on 30 with the traffic jam card together, I would say this is like definitely a, hey, you really got to be patient here kind of thing between the two of those, if those both came out together during a reading. Then we have, they would sing for you because you're their American Idol. So this is kind of, you know, going on the love vibe kind of thing there, or at least on the vibe of like someone who is highly inspired by you and looks up to you. So, you know, they would sing for you. They see you as their American Idol, you know, basically like an idol. You know, they kind of have you on that pedestal kind of energy once again. Chicks before dicks, even when you're the Golden Girls. So this is definitely kind of applying to like, you know, your female friends in your friend group and everything. You know, or if you're a guy, it's like bros before hoes, basically kind of a thing. But it's kind of saying that like, yeah, you know, guys may come in and out of your life, and you know, love is fleeting, but it's like nothing can replace a solid, good friendship. And that there are some friendships that you're going to have, they're just going to last a lifetime. They're going to last well into your old age, like if you were the Golden Girls. A modern day Romeo and Juliet. So if you think about, you know, the story Romeo and Juliet, obviously, I feel like there's been so many different movie versions of this done. You know, there was one done like way back in the 60s, and then there was, of course, the 90s version of it with Leonardo DiCaprio. So yeah, like it's a timeless tale is what it comes down to. But obviously, I don't know anyone who's not familiar with Romeo and Juliet, but it's kind of like, you know, it's the star-crossed lovers kind of thing. So this card is kind of implying these star-crossed lovers. And I'm running out of room, but I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to keep putting cards down as much as I can. Build a life together like a fixer-upper. So this is kind of like my HGTV card out of the group. And obviously, if you guys watch any of the HGTV shows, it doesn't have to be Fixer-Upper. It could be any of them. It could be Flip or Flop. It could be the Property Brothers. It could be House Hunters. It could be a whole bunch of different things. But bottom line is, you know, a lot of those shows are about like taking old rundown houses and kind of renovating them and creating something new. So this card is basically about like someone wanting to work together with you to build something new, to renovate something that maybe hasn't been working out very well and making it better. Kind of like, once again, if I were to reference the tarot here, I would equate this to like a Three of Pentacles, because the Three of Pentacles is like coming together and building something. So that's the kind of similar energy that we have going on with this card. 50 Shades of Freaky. Obviously, everyone knows 50 Shades of Grey is basically the kinky version of Twilight, pretty much. And this is basically just like the horny card of the deck. It's like whoever you're asking about, whoever you're talking about. It's like that, you know, wands energy from the tarot. It's like all passion. It's all desire. It's all heat. It's all like sexual energy, basically. Someone who is horny and ready to get it on. It's all right because you're saved by the bell. Now, obviously, if you were someone who, like, you know, grew up in the 90s and everything, you're definitely probably familiar with Saved by the Bell and the theme song that goes with it. It's all right because I'm saved by the bell. So, yeah. Basically, this is saying that, like, whatever it is that you may be dealing with, you may just, like, kind of squeak under the wire there. Like, you're just going to make it through whatever it is that you're doing, but, you know, whatever it is you're doing, you're going to make it through is the point. Like, whew, you're going to make it. Like, it's okay. No sweat. A love that withstands the ups and downs of time, like in The Notebook. In The Notebook, once again, another classic love story. You know, obviously, they go through a lot of craziness and a lot of ups and downs through that one. And, you know, and it's so sad because obviously she's, you know, the older characters, you know, they're like the wife is suffering from Alzheimer's and everything in it. So, you know, the husband is kind of like reminding her of their love story, which is definitely like very dramatic, but very loving at the same time. So it's that kind of vibe. Just like a timeless, epic love story that you may be experiencing in your life. Call Neve, catfish alert. So yeah, if you guys are familiar with the TV show Catfish, Catfish is all about finding people online who are not who they say they are and are faking people out in friendships and in romantic connections that they wind up making on the internet. And then they wind up discovering who these people really are. So it's almost like, you know, pulling the mask off of the person, like at the end of Scooby-Doo kind of a thing. So this could be in regards to an internet connection specifically, but it doesn't have to be. It basically is a card about someone pretending to be someone that they're not. They're wearing a mask. They're being fake. They're not showing you who they truly are, kind of a vibe. Grammy winner for the best love song from your person. So this is basically saying that, like, your person has so much love inside of their heart, you know, so much love for you that, you know, they could probably write an epic love song if they wanted to, that it would be so amazing and so beautiful because they have just so much to say within their heart. You don't need to go viral to catch their attention. So obviously when you're online and, you know, if some kind of content that you create winds up going viral, it obviously gets a lot of attention. It gets a lot of views. It gets a lot of retweets or likes or favorites or shares or whatever it is. That's what going viral is. But this is basically saying that whoever it is you're asking about in regards to this question, it's basically saying you don't have to do that. Like, you don't have to put in all this effort. You don't have to put in all this effort to get noticed, to be viral, to be whatever it is. You can just be you. You can play it low key. You don't have to really do anything. Like, you'll always have that person's eye. You'll always have that person's attention, you know, especially if it's a love situation, you're always going to have their heart, kind of a thing. Let's do lunch, business collaborations. So this one is basically referencing to like networking and connecting, dealing with your career specifically, dealing with business kind of stuff, that you may be kind of in a season in your career where it's time to just like network and connect with other people in your line of work, in your line of business. That's good to socialize and, you know, get out there, and it's going to help boost where you're going in your career. And I've already filled up this desk, but I'm going to keep going and keep laying down the cards because that's what we're doing. Things may be scary right now, so don't scream. Scream like the horror movies scream. So this is like my horror movie card, basically, out of the deck. So it's pretty much in reference to that, you know, if you get this card, maybe you're experiencing some tower moments. Maybe you're experiencing some really heavy-duty energy and rough roads and challenges, and life just isn't going the way that you'd like it to. It seems scary, but it's kind of a card to reassure you that it's going to be okay, that everything's going to be all right, that you don't need to scream, that everything's going to be fine, that kind of like the challenges you're experiencing right now, they're scary, but they're taking you to somewhere better in the end. Walk the red carpet, sparkle, glow, shine. So exactly what the card says. It's basically saying that you're awesome, you're amazing. Remember to sparkle, remember to glow, remember to shine, remember to radiate, remember to do all those awesome things because the world needs more of you, that you are a light in a dark place and the world needs to see that you have something to offer, that you have something to bring to this world. This is actually one of my most favorite cards in the entire deck, just because I feel like it's one of the most inspiring, it's one of the most uplifting, and it's really applicable in any situation. It could be applied in your career, in a love situation, in you know, a financial situation, a health situation, a friendship, family situation, and just about anything. But it's basically saying that, you know, you're awesome. Don't forget that. You have so much to offer and bring to the world, so keep shining, keep sparkling. Like I literally tell you guys every reading, keep sparkling. It's true. Wedding bells be like, I don't know why I said be like. Wedding bells like father of the bride. So, you know, father of the bride obviously is like, you know, just like a timeless wedding movie. You know, you gotta love Steve Martin, absolutely hilarious. It's just one of those feel-good movies, you know. I could always watch that movie and, you know, if I'm feeling down or whatever, it's just going to make me feel better. And, yeah, so this could be implying, you know, wedded bliss could be around the corner. It could be implying maybe that you're going to get married or someone's going to get married soon. And even if there is no sign of, like, actual marriage, it could be implying a proposal. It could be implying even just a higher level of commitment in regards to wherever you're at that time. So it's kind of like a commitment is coming kind of thing. Drunk, crazy, wild, and stupid. You may not remember, like in The Hangover. So if you guys are familiar with any of the Hangover movies, they are obviously insane and crazy. And, you know, the four guys, they basically get completely wasted in every single movie. And they go out and party, and they totally forget what they did the entire night. And they wind up losing somebody the next day every single time. And then the rest of the movie, they spend their time trying to search for whoever it is that's missing, basically. And by the end of the movie, they find the person, and they finally like find pictures of what it was that they did and stuff. But they're just a bunch of drunk, stupid guys is what it comes down to. Drunk and high and stupid. So this is basically, it's kind of like the wild, crazy party card. So if you get this card, it could be implying shenanigans, pretty much. It could be kind of a warning, like, hey, you know, if you don't want to, you know, go down this route, then, you know, you may want to avoid that. So yeah, it's kind of like your crazy, wild party card. Or it could be implying that there's someone in your life maybe who's like that. You know, you got to take it as it resonates in conjunction to what the question is and the other cards around it, of course, too. Unhappily ever after has happened in La La Land. So, you know, I love La La Land. It's such a good movie, but it's such like a twist at the same time at the very end, because you think that they're going to wind up happily ever after, but they don't. And they actually wind up going in opposite directions. And it's kind of bittersweet, because it's not that they're unhappy with the decisions that they made, but at the same time, it's bittersweet. That's the best way to describe it. So I feel like this card is basically saying that how things turn out for you in regards to whatever it is you're asking may not turn out the way that you think. That doesn't mean that it's inherently bad. It just means it may not turn out the way that you think. The proposal to take things from business to pleasure. So, you know, once again, The Proposal, another one of those good, feel-good movies, you know, with Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds, and their characters start off as business. He works for her, and, you know, through the crazy storyline and everything, they actually wind up falling in love. They wind up falling in love for each other, and it becomes a real deal, becomes a real thing. So this could be implying something like that. It could be implying that maybe you'll be mixing business with pleasure. It could be the fact that there could be a office romance or something like that going on. They'll be there for you because they're your friends. So think of the iconic TV show Friends when it comes to this card, obviously. You know, they'll be there for you. So yeah, just think of that. You know, it's kind of like, you know, that solid, stable friend group around you. You know, people around you who are loyal and supportive and encouraging, and they got your back. That's kind of what this card is all about. It's about, you know, friends forever. Dazzled by the Edward to your Bella. So this is the Twilight card, and even in the books and the movies and everything, you know, basically Bella is dazzled by him. She is absolutely like enamored by him. She's blown away by him. You know, she, especially in the first book, she goes on and on and on about how she's never seen such an amazing and beautiful creature in her entire life, and she can't wrap her head around the absolutely flawless gorgeousness that is Edward Cullen. So this is kind of like that kind of vibe where someone is just like enamored by you, or you're enamored by them, kind of a thing. But it's definitely like that magnetic pull and that magnetic draw to somebody. Unexpected new beginnings, like Knocked Up. So in the movie Knocked Up, obviously, she winds up getting pregnant unexpectedly. And obviously, when you are pregnant, when you're going to have a baby, that's a brand new life. It's a brand new beginning. It's a brand new season, and it's a brand new chapter in your life. So this card could be taken quite literally when it comes down to pregnancy, but it doesn't have to be. It could also be in regards to just simply like a new beginning. And it may kind of be unexpected. It may not, it may kind of come out of nowhere. But I feel like it's a positive new beginning, though. It's a blessing because, people look at babies as a blessing. So it's definitely the blessing of a new beginning, a new chapter in your life. All that glitters isn't gold, which is very true. This is kind of just a good reminder that, what's on the external package may not be what you get on the inside, kind of a thing. So, the package may be all beautiful and gorgeously wrapped and everything, and it may be pretty and sparkly and, just alluring and everything, but it's like then you take the top off of the box and it's empty. There's nothing in there. It's like crap or it's shit that's in there basically. So this is kind of insane. This is kind of saying, don't be fooled by what's on the outside. Don't be fooled by the external is what it comes down to. Time to go home to Sweet Home, Alabama. So I love this movie too. Just another, these are like you guys are obviously seeing like a kind of walk into a lot of like my favorite movies and stuff because they're obviously mentioned in here. Anyways, so in Sweet Home Alabama, Reese Witherspoon's character, she's like this up and coming fashion designer in New York, and she's supposed to marry this politician's son or whatever, very much the bougie kind of high class kind of life. And she's still technically married to her like first love down in Alabama where she's from. And, she has to go down there and deal with that if she wants to marry the other guy. So she has to go back home and re-explore her roots and everything. And through the process of that, she winds up discovering that she never stopped loving her husband. And that, she really is still like the good old Southern girl, even though she's been living in New York for years. So she winds up, basically like returning home and returning to her husband and that kind of thing. So this card is about really like returning to your roots is the theme of it. It's about returning to your roots, returning to who you really are. Whether that means physically returning to your home, like if you, relocated to one place and now it's time for you to move back, it could imply like quite literally physically doing that, but it doesn't have to be. It could just even be a sense of something within yourself that maybe you need to return to within yourself. But it's definitely kind of a return to home kind of vibe, and however that makes sense in context to what you're currently experiencing. Boo, you whore, Mean Girls. So, we all know the meanest girl of them all is Regina George in the movie Mean Girls. And this card is kind of all about that. It's all about the mean girls. It's all about the haters. It's all about the bullies. It's all about the people who don't like you, basically. So this is just kind of a card, like if it pops up in a reading, it's in reference to that. It's in reference to something is going on dealing with people who may not like you. Pass through the red velvet ropes. You're on the right track. So, in LA, and I have not done the club circuit there in a long time, but I know at least back in the day, it would be very hard to get into clubs, and even more so, I don't know how it is now because we're also living in a post-COVID world too. But anyways, back in the day, you had to, be on the list. You had to have an in, basically, in order to get into the clubs in LA. They didn't just, let anybody in. So, it's like VIP, we're only letting, pretty people in kind of a thing. So this is basically saying that you don't have to worry about getting in, that you've already been accepted, that you can just like pass by the line, you can pass through those velvet ropes, you can just walk right in. So this is basically saying that whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's in regards to love or your career or your friendships or your family or whatever it is, that you are on the right track, that you can pass through the velvet ropes, that you can walk past the line, that you can go straight in because you're already doing all the right things. Ready to accept their Oscar for Best Actor in Your Life. So this is another card that's kind of in regards to like, oh, someone's being fake, someone's being phony, someone is putting on a show for you, basically. Someone's not being honest, someone is not being real with you, someone might be lying through their teeth and not being genuine and authentic with you, and they may have you fooled because, you know, they may be a very good actor, basically. So, you know, if they're that good of an actor, they may be ready for their Oscar because you may be believing it and you shouldn't be. Underestimated, like Elle Woods in Legally Blonde. So, once again, another one of my all-time favorite movies, Legally Blonde. So, you know, Elle Woods is like your typical blonde, kind of like a dumb bimbo kind of thing, living in LA. And, you know, she winds up breaking up with her boyfriend. Well, he breaks up with her, actually, at the beginning of the movie. And she has this plan to go and win him back. But he has moved on to go to Harvard to become a lawyer. So in order for her to win him back, she thinks that she has to get brains and become smart and all this other kind of thing. And, you know, go be a lawyer at Harvard University, basically. So she goes and she does that. And she winds up discovering that she's much smarter of a person than she really thought she was. She winds up discovering who she truly was, that she's much stronger, and that she didn't even really need him anyways. She didn't really want him at the end of the movie. But there were a lot of people, especially when she got to Harvard, who underestimated her. A lot of people who kind of, you know, put her in a box and put her in this category of, oh, you're just a Barbie doll, basically. Like, what do you know? You know, no one believed in her. She had to believe in herself in order to make a difference, in order to make a change when she was there. And it paid off, you know? So this is a card basically saying that you may be the underdog. People may not believe in you, but that's okay. It's okay if people underestimate you because you are an overcomer. You are more talented, you are stronger, you are smarter than anybody knows and anybody realizes, and that you can and will indefinitely prove them wrong. Crazy family chaos like the Kardashians. So the Kardashians are obviously a very crazy family. I know a lot of people don't understand why they were on TV as long as they were. I mean, their show was on for like 14 years, something like that. And a lot of people don't understand it, but the truth is they were on as long as they were because they obviously pulled in the ratings. And they pulled in the ratings because they're a little crazy. They're a little chaotic. And people are entertained by that. You know, people want to watch a shit show unfold is what it comes down to. So this card is basically saying that it could be your family, it could be your work family, it could be your friend family, but it's some kind of family unit in your life that is definitely probably a little crazy, probably a little chaotic. You know, there might be a Kris Jenner in that group, there might be a Kim Kardashian in that group, a Khloe Kardashian, a Kourtney Kardashian, you know, so on and so forth. You know, there may be one of those in, you know, the group that you're dealing with, kind of a thing. And that's a lot of ups and downs too, because, you know, they have good times together and then they have not so great times together. So much drama, the tabloids are covering it. So this is definitely a card talking about drama that could be going down in your life. And this is very public drama. It's drama that's not being hidden behind the scenes. It's not drama that, you know, you hope to cover up in the closet. It's drama that everybody knows about. It's drama that everyone's talking about. So it could be like maybe like a throwdown, smackdown that's happening on social media. You know, maybe you're having a very public argument with like a friend online or something. Maybe you get into an argument with a troll on the internet or something like that. But either way, it's something that everybody knows about, even if it's not on the internet. Maybe you live in a small town where everybody knows everything about everyone, kind of a thing. So once again, take it as it resonates in regards to your situation. But that's kind of what this card is all about. Everybody knowing the business. Everyone knowing everyone's business. Everyone knowing all the tea and it being spilled everywhere. Needs to come back to life like in Warm Bodies. So if you guys have seen the movie Warm Bodies, it's kind of, it is in a way kind of like a Romeo and Juliet kind of theme, but in a supernatural way, because it's basically like a post-apocalyptic world where there are a lot of zombies. And Julie, the human, she falls in love with a zombie whose name is R. See, get it? Like R, like Romeo, Julie, like Juliet. But anyways, so they kind of have this thing and they fall for each other. But, you know, he's a zombie and she's a human. So they technically kind of come from these two different worlds. But the thing is, at the end of the movie, her love winds up bringing him back to life. Her love winds up resuscitating him, basically. It winds up bringing him back to life, and then he has like a heartbeat, like he's living again, like he's alive. He's no longer just a zombie. So, you know, more so than Romeo and Juliet, because I know there was already a Romeo and Juliet card that came out earlier. This card isn't necessarily about that. It's more so about like bringing someone back to life, or you yourself being brought back to life, in a sense that, you know, maybe an area in your life or a relationship in your life or something within you felt dead, felt gone, felt like it was in a zombie state, in a sense. And this is, you know, something bringing it back to life, you know, love bringing it back to life, whatever it is, but it's coming back to life. It's resurfacing, it's rejuvenating, kind of a thing. We're almost done. We've only got 2 cards left. Take a selfie, influencer on the rise, incoming brand deals. So this is definitely more so of a career kind of card. You know, obviously being an influencer, like being a social media influencer, is definitely becoming more and more of like a mainstream kind of job nowadays. You don't have to live in LA. You can live in anywhere in the world, basically, and become an influencer. There are so many social media platforms out there. There's YouTube, like right here. There's TikTok. There's Instagram. There's, you know, there's blogging. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do, and all kinds of different niches you can do. You can do like a lifestyle thing, or a travel thing, or a fashion thing, a makeup thing, a tarot reading thing. There's like so many different things out there. But the point is, like, this card is basically referencing, regardless of what your career is, you don't even have to be an influencer. It's basically saying you are rising in your career. It may not be brand deals, but it could be a promotion. It could be a better job. It could be a pay raise, you know, whatever it is. It could be moving up to management material, anything. But it's basically saying, like, it's moving up in the ladder in your career in whatever your chosen field is. And the last card is don't fall prey to the casting couch. And as you guys probably know, the casting couch is pretty much the sleazy, not so great deal of, you know, sleeping your way to the top in the industry. It's, you know, sleeping with your director or producer or whoever it is so you can get on a TV show, movie, whatever it is. You know, there's obviously a lot of that stuff that goes on. You know, if you've ever heard of Harvey Weinstein, then you probably know what the casting couch is. So this is basically kind of like a warning, you know, not that you're going to go and like sleep your way to the top or anything, but but the bottom line is, when someone does fall prey to something like that, they are, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? I have it at the top of my head, or at the tippy top of my tongue. They're compromising themselves. That's what I'm trying to say. They're compromising themselves. They're not doing things out of a place of integrity. They're selling themselves short, is what it comes down to. So it may not necessarily mean, oh, you're going to sleep with somebody to go and take whatever to the next level. But you could wind up compromising yourself and saying, okay, I'll do this or I'll do that, even though I don't really want to, but you wind up like agreeing to it anyway. So it's basically saying, don't do that. Don't compromise in areas that you don't feel comfortable in, that you don't feel right in, that you don't feel good in. Don't compromise yourself, is what it comes down to. Hold on to your integrity, kind of a thing. So that's all the messages from my brand new deck. So it's 53 messages. It's a 54 card deck. The 54th card is, the one that I had to pull out earlier, which is like my thank you for your business card, pretty much. So that's the 54th card. But the rest, like I said, are 53 messages. And wow, I'm like almost an hour into this video, and I just went through every single message. I had no idea how long this was going to take, you guys, because I've never done one of these before, but I wanted to definitely walk through the cards with you and kind of, show you guys what the messages were, what they meant, in case there was any confusion. So if you do wind up purchasing this deck and you do wind up using it for yourself, that way then you kind of know a little bit, like, oh yeah, that's what that card means. But once again, like I said, it's also open to interpretation. So, depending on what the other cards are that are around it, even if you're not strictly just using this deck, and maybe you're using a deck from somebody else as well, like, take it as it resonates, collectively, in regards to the question, in regards to the cards around it, and just in regards to your own intuition. But before I wrap it up here, I don't want to make it too much longer because, I've been explaining these cards for the past hour for you guys. But maybe for the next few minutes at least, I want to just do a quick little reading here with my new deck for you guys. And just very quickly here, let's see what general messages come out for you guys. Let's see what you guys need to know in general, as a whole, at this time. What's going on? So we have, you'll wonder how to lose a guy in 10 days, not expecting to want more. So like I said with this card earlier, you guys, it's kind of like the whole thing that someone or something, it doesn't even have to be a person necessarily. It could be an opportunity. It could be an experience. But someone or something is going to wind up popping up in your life, and you may not necessarily be interested in it. It may not be something that you want to do. It may not be someone that you may want to be around. But basically the message here is, give it a chance. You might be pleasantly surprised. You may find out like, hey, that really is an awesome experience. That really is a good opportunity. That really is a pretty cool person. So, don't be so close-minded. Be open-minded there. You never know what's going to happen. We also have, your entourage is ready for a trip, travel ahead. So considering we have travel coming out with this, it could be that maybe the opportunity that you guys might be hesitant about, it could be in regards to travel. Someone may present to you like a travel opportunity, and you may be like, no, I don't really know about that. It could be for a bunch of different reasons. Maybe it's somewhere that you genuinely are not interested in going in. Maybe you're looking at it from a financial perspective, like, I don't really have the money to do that right now. You could be looking at it from a timing perspective, like, I don't really have the time to do it right now. But I feel like this card is inviting you to, go ahead and travel anyways. it might be a good experience. You may, you may be wanting more of that travel experience. So that's definitely a pretty cool opportunity. Let's see what else we get here. LC from the Hills has a warning for you. He's a sucky person. So aside from this, there could be someone in your life that you may just want to be cautious and you maybe want to be careful around. There may be someone around you who could be a little bit shady. I feel like that's something that's separate from the travel, how to lose a guy in 10 days thing. I feel like these two are probably connected to each other. I feel like the LC thing is maybe a separate issue. But like I said, these are just general messages. So, it could be that, this travel message may be for one person. This message about the sucky person could be for someone else. So, it's all about how it correlates for you in your life. Things may be scary right now, so don't scream. So with this card, I really feel like it could apply to either of these situations. Number one, even if there is someone around you right now who is a sucky person, you don't need to worry about that. You don't need to scream. You don't need to shout. You don't need to go crazy and go ape shit and lose it over it, because this person who's a sucky person, they're probably not worth it, honestly. They're not worth your screams is what it comes down to. And as for this side over here with the traveling, I feel like this is basically saying, don't be scared to travel. Don't be scared to do that. Like I said, maybe you're a little nervous about taking this opportunity for whatever reason. I don't know what the reason is. Like I said, it could be a financial reason. It could be, maybe you feel like you don't have the time, whatever it is. But I feel like this is something that you should seize, definitely take advantage of it. So I feel like that card is kind of applicable in both of those situations. Ooh, that one just flipped out of nowhere. So we have 50 Shades of Freaky. So somebody wants to get freaky, basically. Someone is ready to, get it on. Someone's got their horny vibe going on, the passion thing going on. It could be, once again, either person, either situation here, because I really feel like we have two separate situations here. I'm just going to separate these because I'm these are two different messages. I don't know why it's coming out like that, but there must be a reason. The ones that apply to both, I'm just going to put down here in the middle. So I feel like this one could apply, once again, to both. As for 50 Shades of Freaky over here with the sucky person, it could be a love situation where he is a sucky person, but just because he's a sucky person doesn't mean he doesn't want to get down. He may be, ready to, hit the sheets with you, but that doesn't mean that he has good intentions towards you. That doesn't mean that he loves you, kind of a thing. You can have passion for someone, but not really care about them from an emotional perspective. So that could be why he's a sucky person. He could be a player. As for 50 Shades of Freaky over here, it could be like a romantic vacation. It could be a vacation where, maybe you and your person wind up, going on a romantic getaway or something, and you wind up getting freaky, and it's kind of a totally different vibe, not I'm going to use you vibe over here, but hey, we're going to go travel, we're going to have fun, we're going to make love while we're on vacation kind of a thing. So take it as it resonates. I just think it's really crazy. This is two very distinct, very different messages coming through right now. This normally doesn't happen. So I don't know what the deal is, but that's okay. We'll take it. I'm not going to go too terribly much longer, just because, like I said, I've been on for a while, just introducing the cards. But I did want to show you guys a little bit of the cards in action in an actual reading. Dazzled by the Edward to your Bella. So I feel like, once again, this card could probably apply in both situations. The sucky person, he can be a sucky person, and he can have a lot of passion and desire for you without having love for you. And that doesn't mean that you're not dazzled by this person, that you're not kind of, in a sense, hypnotized by this person. You know, obviously when LC warned Heidi about Spencer, you know, Heidi was basically dazzled by Spencer, pretty much. So it didn't really matter what LC told her. So, you know, it could be that maybe you don't see this person for who they really are. You're kind of under their spell, kind of a thing. And over here in this group, you know, once again, if it's like a romantic getaway with your person, then, you know, you're probably pretty dazzled by them and they're probably pretty dazzled by you, kind of a thing. Let's see what else we have here. Boo, you whore, mean girls. So this one's obviously all about the bullies, the haters, people who don't like you, kind of a thing. I feel like this card is more so about the sucky person situation. That, yeah, like, basically, if they're a sucky person, they may not be a very nice person, is what it comes down to. You may not necessarily see it, because, you know, like I said, you're probably dazzled by this person. There's probably a lot of passion and fire between you and this person. But just because there's passion and desire doesn't mean that there's love. That doesn't mean that, you know, they have empathy for you or anything like that. Like my concern with the pile, or not the pile, it's almost like a pick a card, but it's not. My concern with the sucky person group over here is that they could be like a narcissist or something. Or they could at least have narcissistic tendencies. So yeah, that's kind of my concern with you guys, which means at the end of the day, they're not going to be the nicest of persons. People, whatever. Don't pray fall to the casting couch. So once again, the group over here, you know, try not to fall for this when it comes to this person. Try not to compromise yourself. Try to stay in your integrity, basically. And it's like, even though there may be like massive like animalistic attraction when it comes to this person, try not to be driven strictly by the animalistic parts. You know, try to get deeper than that and, you know, really look at things like, you know, is there really more to this? What's going on here? Kind of a thing. And we have, they'll be there for you because they're your friends. So I feel like this one is another one that could kind of go in the middle for both. Because I feel like at the end of the day, when it comes to the sucky person group, no matter what happens for you, you do have people around you who love you and care about you, and they're there for you. You know, they're your friends, basically. They are there for you. So, you know, there may be people around you, friends who may be warning you, for example, of the situation right now. But bottom line is they're there for you. And with this group over here, the travel group, it could be like a travel situation, not only involving maybe like a romantic partner, but it could be a travel situation involving your friends. It could involve your friend group. And, you know, I feel like, you know, same as with the sucky person group, I feel like you guys have support around you as well. You have friends that are around you too. And who knows, maybe there's someone out there who can connect to both sides of the spectrum here. I feel like for most people, though, you're either going to fall on one side or the other. But who knows, there could be someone who's like, oh my gosh, I'm the entire thing. You never know. Someone has cruel intentions. So once again, I feel like that's the sucky person group coming out here. I feel like there's more messages coming out now on this side than this side, because you guys probably need to know the warning is what it comes down to, as opposed to this group. This group is kind of just like, oh, take the risk, you know, it's okay, you know, go ahead and, you know, travel and, you know, do the things and you're going to be fine and good. But this side over here, I feel like it's kind of saying like, you know, once again, this person may not have the best of intentions towards you. They may not have your best interest at heart. kind of a thing. Let me try and get one more. If I can at least get one more for this side, because I feel bad that there's not as many for this side than that side. That would be great. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up here soon. Friends like family on the Jersey Shore. So I do kind of feel like, once again, this kind of applies to both groups. It's very similar to the they'll be there for you because they're your friends card. You know, it's the friends in your life who you can rely on as family. You know, your brother from another mother, your sister from another mister, kind of a thing. You know, it's people who are going to have your back no matter what, kind of a thing. So I feel like both sides have these people. You know, the group that may be dealing with a shady person over here is definitely going to need their friends like family around them. And, you know, like I said, I feel like both sides have that. But I think I'm just going to leave it here as that when it comes to this reading. Because I do feel like more and more keeps coming out for this side. And, you know, the travel side, not as much, but I just feel like there wasn't as much that needed to come out for that side. But hey, who knows? Like I said, maybe there's someone out there who can resonate with both stories here that's going on. But I do feel like it's two different stories that's happening here. So, you know, if this one didn't resonate and you're more like, ooh, I think I'm the travel person, then cool, you're the travel person. It's all right. Anyways, that's just a little preview of the deck, obviously, and what the cards are, what the cards mean, and kind of a little bit how the cards work when they come out in an actual reading for you guys. So I'm really excited that's finally here, and like I said, it is available on Etsy. The link for that is down below, so if you enjoyed this deck and you're like, ooh, I'd really like to add that to my collection, please feel free to pick one up. And, you know, if you're doing, like, readings yourself on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, you know, definitely tag me. Let me know when you're using your deck because I would love to see it in action. And yeah, like that's just super exciting. Anyway, before I do wrap things up here, I am going to share with you guys a Jesus card from Loving Words from Jesus because, in my opinion, a Bible verse a day helps keep the bad vibes away. And I always do one of these at the end of one of my readings, regardless. It doesn't matter if I'm using my own deck or other people's decks, or if it's a pick a card, or if it's just a general reading, or whatever it is. I always wrap things up with one of these. So the message for you guys today is, peace be unto you as my Father hath sent me. John 20:21. And, you know, that's a beautiful message. You know, it's basically a reminder that, you know, Jesus came to give us peace. That, you know, we're not here to suffer. We're not here to struggle. You know, the intention is we're supposed to have peace in our life. We're supposed to have joy in our lives. And if something is causing you to lose your peace, reevaluate things, because chances are that can be changed, and it can be changed into something that can give you peace. So always follow peace, especially when it comes down to making decisions in your life. You follow peace, you're never going to go wrong. And that's where your intuition is at too, you know? That still small voice, that's your intuition speaking. So definitely follow that. So yeah, that's the message that you guys have here today. Anyways, I just want to thank you guys for stopping on by and hanging out here with me today. It definitely warms my heart and it means the world to me. So on your way out, like I said, please give this video a big thumbs up and make sure that you subscribe, that you hit the notification bell so you know of future videos when they are on the way. And so you guys also know whenever I go live, because whenever I go live, you will be notified of that. And like I said, lives for right now are Mondays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That might be changing, like I said at the beginning of the video, but I will keep you updated on that. I will keep you posted on all of that information, obviously. So, with that said, I also am open and available for private readings too, like I also previously mentioned. So if you're interested in private readings, live readings, ways to contact me, my Etsy shop with the cards, or anything else, all of that information, like I said, is down in the description box below. So that's pretty much everything that you need to know. I hope you guys have an amazing day. So keep on sparkling. I am sending you lots of hugs and much love.